Okay. Fair enough. You're the man in charge, not me.
It's just the owner.
All right. So again, if you have any questions, you know what, everyone, if you're on live, you can just speak up and ask. But if you're not, then type it to Jeff, and then we'll have Q&A as we go along. And of course, if we don't answer your question, we will certainly catch it later through the email or a phone call. Usually a phone call because my fingers hurt when I type too much. All right. So today's agenda, we're going to review our program update. That's mostly Jeff. And then we're going to walk into some of the software updates that have happened. And then we're going to talk specifically about the, not the million of updates for the 1099s and the W-2s. And then, of course, the information on what our next webinar is going to be. All right. So, Jeff, I'm going to let you go to this. I'm actually going to put my headset down and hop off to the little programmer's room, and I'll be back.
Gotcha. All right. Well, as you guys know, we've been doing our reviews program. It has been, I've really appreciated all of the feedback we've received thus far. It's been fantastic. So G2, Capterra, and Software Connector are the three websites we've been doing. Last month we had our first little batch of donations. It was $180 that we made in total to all three of whether they were Salvation Army, divisions of the Salvation Army, or they were other charities that had served specific areas of the state. And it was great. We said we're going to make a donation on the 23rd, and then we make the donation on the 23rd, and everything is great. Then we had the couple weeks where we're off, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, we got a bunch more reviews on Christmas Eve. And so, okay, well, these are going to be part of the next batch too. And so we are still looking for more reviews. I guess we get something happens when we hit 10 reviews on each site. So if you guys have not done that already, we'd really appreciate it. The $10 donation to the Salvation Army division nearest you, or the one that serves your county or state, beside the state, that is still active, and we will. We're looking forward to making another big splash donation coming up. So it helps us out because these three websites are where people go to find more information about specific softwares. We're looking to add new customers, and so this helps us out a ton. And so we want to help you out if you help us out. Again, the links will be sent out in today's post-webinar email, and it's been absolutely fantastic. We'll make the donations, and we'll keep doing this, but we'll make the donations on the this month. We'll make the donation on the 29th, so the last Friday of the month.
So everybody's going to go make a nice, beautiful,
big donation.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
All right.
Okay, so let me kind of just say that the reason this year was a little bit more hectic than previous years at the end was that I was out sick for the first 3 months, or 3 months, the first 3.5 weeks of December. So that's normally when I do all those tax returns and tax reports, and I get them all right, and I check them, and I do all that verification, and that didn't happen this year. So it's kind of like, as we got the information, we kind of sent it out to you guys so that you had a chance. And of course, half the time it was wrong, so we had to do it again and again. But let me just cover then what we have now. Kind of show you through where we're at with those. So on the W-2s specifically, it's pretty straightforward. Some of you have seen this last year, some might be new to it this year. You select the year you want to do. You want to determine whether you're going to combine your W-2s by SSN, and I highly recommend that one's checked. And then if you do have third-party sick pay, make sure that's checked. And we'll go ahead and calculate. And then it's just that quick. It's real fast to calculate. So now we want to print. And when we're going to go print, let's start with our standard, the W-2A form. Make sure you have highlighted all the people that you want to show up on that form. So we have 44 we're looking, so I will click print. And here's everybody that we are doing W-2s for. So then you can basically just come over here and select print, and it will print away. Now some of this has changed. Every time we get a new update from our vendors, this bar changes. So unfortunately, we don't control it right now. Okay, so that's printing your W-2s. When you do your 4-ups, make sure if you're going to print it on preprint, you can do the 4-up with instructions or without, depending on if you buy the paper. Obviously, if you're buying the pre-printed paper with the backs, then you want to do without. Otherwise, you need to do it with instructions so the backs get printed with the information. When it comes to the W-3, we want to make sure these values are set correctly. So most likely everybody is a regular 941, but we do have a few locals that might be sitting under one of these 2 state local issues. But most people, it's none apply. And simply you print it, and the W-3 is going to be based on what you have checked over here. So if I uncheck everybody, let's say I just check one person, my W-3 will only show that one person's information in the totals. So you want to make sure everybody's that you want is selected. And so now I'm printing my W-3 and I have 44 forms underneath it, and this is the total. And then if you're going to be creating the W-2, you need to put in, when you create the W-2 electronic file, it also internally includes a W-3 file. So make sure these are set correctly if you're going to calculate, if you're going to create the electronic file. And I think this is a 6 character, or is it 8 characters now? Let's do 7 8. And then basically we're just asking you where you want to put your EFW2s. And simply it created it. It's really fast. It doesn't take that long anymore for the calculations on W-2s this year and for the next foreseeable future. So that's really a quick overview of the W-2s. I'm going to open up to questions.
George, I just sent you a message, but can you edit the W-2s easily?
Sure. Go ahead.
You go ahead. I'll let you go.
Okay, so you just basically highlight the one you want to edit, and you click modify. And I can change any number in here, and it'll stay. Now, the only difference with once you modify something, if you do recalculate the W-2s, it's going to overwrite your modification.
Right. So then my next question to follow up with that is, so if we edit the W-2s, when we're creating the electronic file, will it
Yes.
automatically bring those adjustments into the W-3?
Correct.
Perfect. Thanks.
So let's try one. Social Security tips. I know nobody else has Social Security tips, so we're just going to put in $45, 55 cents to this guy. Save it. We'll go back. We'll quickly do a W-2 copy A for him just to double check. I have 45.55 in Social Security tips. I then do a W-3. In the W-3 will show, nope, I don't think I do W tips. That's interesting. Interesting. So it doesn't look like some of the things come over. Let's try a different value from it. Let's modify his total to be Social Security wages. I know should come over, so we'll make that 99 cents. All right. That figures. I closed it. Okay, so W-3. I got everybody, or nobody, I mean. Who was it that we were modifying?
I didn't pay attention to who it was.
Yeah, me neither. Well, we'll just modify another one. I'm in 99.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I don't think we even total those up right now because none of our customers would have those Social Security tips or allocated tips.
Right.
So then if you created the electronic file, it would pick up whatever your modifications you made.
Okay, great.
Any other questions? W-2s? Pretty straightforward. We got also given our government's in such great array at the moment, the approval for the plain paper W-2s came real late this year. We got it December 28th. Normally we have that in like October. So that's just another thing that kind of slowed us down is we couldn't release our W-2s until we get the approval from the federal government on their layout. All right, so let's move on to 1099s. So if we go under the payables, the 1099s were done as a series of reports. So let's start with the first one, which is the 1099 list. This should show you how many people, how many vendors you have that have the 1099. One of the things, so the reporting year is 2020. Except this, hang on, this database is really old, so I have to use 2016, but just imagine this as 2020. And the minimum amount would be, I'm going to put, if you put in 0, it will show you every vendor that you have marked for 1099, that you have it turned on. So that's just an interesting side effect that we didn't realize in the report. But if it's 0, then these are all the vendors that potentially should get a 1099 that I have turned on in my vendor database. And we break it out by the MISC vendors versus the NEC vendors. But normally you would come in here and you would say $600. And then when you run this report, it will obviously, make the number of vendors much smaller. So we have 26 that right now are set to the 1099 NECs, sorry, the 1099 Misc, and 2 that are set to the NEC records. This is just a way to get yourself prepared for, like on this one, the forms, when you buy them just over the counter, they come in packs of 25. So you can say, oh, wait, I'm going to need 2 packs because I need, need one more. That's just the list report. So if we actually want to go into the 1099 MISC, that again, and sorry about this, but old data. I don't have anything for 2020. Minimum amount. And then if you have a state ID that's going to go in box 17, that's usually if you actually paid somebody and took withholding out, you need to put that in. You can, put that in so it will go on the report. And then this report is designed to print over top of the form. So you stick the form in the printer, click print, and it would zoom and go. 26 of them, I believe. 14 of them, my bad. And then 1099 and NEC, very much the same thing. Here we go. Minimum amount 600. And then copy B and copy A actually are the same, but the copy C and copy 1 are a little bit different. And again, you have the state ID for that one as well. and again, it just prints on top of a, we only have two, so it just prints on top of the regular forms. Okay, and then finally the 1099 and 96, which is the cover of each of them. And with the 1099s this year, you're supposed to have a cover for the 1099 Misc and then a separate cover for the 1099 NEC. We can't just have one cover that includes them both. So we'll do the 1089 NEC. And again, this just prints over top of the existing form, but the X is in the NEC box. And then if we go back and just change it to the MISC box, the totals change. Sorry. The total changes and the X goes in the MISC box. So it's pretty straightforward. It's not that complicated. The complication has been that, you know, we didn't get our act together, and it took us a long time to get these to be all perfect, which they are now. Okay, is there any questions about the 1099s? Jeff, anything popping in?
Nothing's popping in the chat.
Okay. So I'm going to show you basically a couple little things that changed. Not that it's going to be super relevant, but I figured we'd just cover them. In payroll, we updated the where's it at? I know it's here. Export pay stubs. So we include the layout. We have, you know, we've been working with a couple of people who use this a lot, and so we've been modifying the layout, and it looks a whole lot more professional than it did. We added, I don't think you get to see anybody really. So this just kind of kicks it out and emails it to everybody. Let's see, what else have we done? We spent some time in direct deposit. There was some issues with a couple of the banks, so we had to make a small change for one of those. In direct deposit, just trying to think of some other miscellaneous little things we did. Not really anything, I would say not anything that's really super big that, you know, obviously if you were the one who reported it, it was big to you, but then we fixed it right away usually and got it out in the next release. So really, I'm just kind of open for any other questions you would have about anything at this point.
I'm good for right now.
Everybody good? No other questions popping in?
Nothing's popping in.
All right. So it'll be a short one.
Cool. Excellent. Well, the last thing is next webinar will be February 1st. We'll be back on our normal schedule. Getting two per month. Next month will be the 1st and the 15th. Both are Mondays. So yeah, and which also I guess means, because it's February, that means March's will also be the 1st and 15th as well. Both on Mondays. So the same Zoom link as always. If you guys would like to save that Cogitate Zoom bit.ly link, that would be that's going to be the one that we use every single time. That's a standard one. If you guys want details about why we can do the same one every time, let me know. I'm happy to share the little tidbit with you. But yeah, otherwise we're going to keep on doing this and keep on with this normal schedule. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from you guys. Everyone's loving this new webinar schedule, and how we're doing these little showcases twice a month. So again, and everything as always is going to be posted to our YouTube channel afterwards, including this one. So yeah, keep us posted if there's anything further we can do to make things better, to be more transparent, be more open, and to help you guys out better. So great. So if there's nothing further to do, then thanks everyone. We will we'll get this up on our page, our YouTube channel, and you guys have a happy New Year.
All right,
Thanks,
so real
you
quick,
too.
Oh,
To
Have a
hold
good
up.
day.
Hold up.
to create one of those, you can come in here and say new, and just say shortcut, and then you can just type in the bit link. You basically just say next. You enter a shortcut, and here it would be. And I've named mine Zoom Sales, but so if I cancel, I'm going to delete this one. But basically, that's all you have to do, and then you have one on your desktop. So whenever we're doing a meeting, boom.
Double click, goes to Zoom. Then it launches Zoom in the it launches your program Zoom.
Yeah, your program Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting.
All right.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you. Yep.